Hey, welcome back to Polkzoo Channel and the Guitar Ladder System. Hey, this is the J Marcario. It's an all solid wood guitar. I really love the way it sounds. I want to mention something kind of different today, though. I've had a lot of interest in Polkzoo Channel. I even got a phone call. I'm not making this up, from Netflix owner years ago, just saying he liked the channel. And there's a lot of potential in Polkzoo to make a little history. And my idea behind Polkzoo Channel also was a foundation for coffeechannel.com. Coffeechannel.com, I own that domain name. That's an idea where we build a social network around a 90 billion a year industry, which is coffee. And Polkzoo Channel is kind of a springboard for that. But the whole idea behind coffeechannel.com and Polkzoo Channel, but mostly coffeechannel.com for this particular component of the idea, is to have a social network where you have great acoustic music, you feature talented acoustic guitar players, people that aren't real well known, and actually have a spiritual authenticity to the channel. So many social networks are just all over the place. And I've actually shared this idea with some very, very, very bright and very successful people. Everybody loves the idea. In fact, I shared this idea with Bill Hudson, who produced Father of the Bride with the great comedian actor Steve Martin. He loved the idea. He felt it needed about 5 million total capitalization. But it's hard for me to get this idea out of my head. I've actually had some investors interested in it, and I didn't feel they were a good mix. So, I'm looking for investors for coffeechannel.com and Polkzoo Channel. Polkzoo Channel could make a lot more money if we do some simple things like offer, business loans through it and things like that. But if you have any interest, and by the way, the great returns are in things where you have to have some brass balls to jump into, up and coming ideas. But I think a great example of this would be Reverb. He wasn't thinking of doing this, I don't think, but he wanted a better place to sell his guitar, so he developed reverb.com. And nowadays large media companies will pay. He sold Reverb for, I think it was 265 million, and it had not even turned a profit yet. Big media companies will pay for businesses that have a lot of traffic. They pay for the position, they pay for the traffic. And so it's different. It's not like it used to be where you have to show X amount of profit to sell a business for a lot of money. I think coffeechannel.com and Polkzoo Channel could sell for, a couple $100 million. Maybe it could sell for a lower amount, like 10, 20. It depends how developed it is. But or somebody could buy it and then turn it into a public company. But I'm looking for investors for coffeechannel.com and Polkzoo Channel. And like I said, the idea behind coffeechannel.com is a social network discussing coffee, kind of a hybrid, like a social network and like a TV channel on the internet, where we feature talented acoustic musicians. We feature very talented artists, and we help promote them. Maybe we retain endorsement rights or whatever, so it's a win-win. But you go to a channel like coffeechannel.com. I don't have it up and running right now because it needs a very sophisticated site, built by a computer programmer and a computer designer with strong servers. It's a big job. I want to find somebody to that has a lot of experience to run it for me. But I'd like to have a sound stage where we create our own content. It's really a neat idea. Like I said, I've shared this with some brilliant people, and have a sound stage, create our own content, create our own concerts, and it's really could make history because it's just a beautiful idea. And I was watching a video the other day with John McLaughlin. He was talking about how there's so few places to play and whatnot. So this could really make history. It could be a really, really viable thing. It could be like a TV channel called coffeechannel.com, sitting on a $90 billion a year industry, which is coffee, but it would feature acoustic musicians and could just really be cool. I think the word I'm looking for here is authentic. I think there needs to be a very authentic, real, with a spiritual based, internet TV type channel. Coffeechannel.com could be that. Like I said, it could talk about coffee, and you could make friends on the channel, but it would also feature, talented, real musicians. So it could be a very authentic site that would connect with people and be successful for the very simple reason that it's authentic and real. But anyway, if you have any interest in possibly investing in coffeechannel.com, Polkzoo Channel, send me an email with your phone number. I'll call you and we'll talk about it. Like I said, I shared this idea with Bill Hudson. He loved the idea. In fact, he told me a story about when he was talking to Disney, getting funding for his Father of the Bride movie. They said, well, give us a business plan. We'll look at it and get you back in 2 weeks. He said, you have 15 minutes. I'll tell you everything you need to know. We'll go from there. I have a business plan for coffeechannel.com, but it's very old. It needs a lot of work. I can explain everything about what I'm doing to anybody on the phone. It's not a conversation where I'm trying to sell hard. You either get it or you don't. The idea kind of sells itself. It could be very unique, like I said, like a TV channel. It's like a hybrid social network and TV channel that features great acoustic musicians, great acoustic music. And like I said, Polkzoo Channel is kind of a springboard for it. But if you have any interest, just email me, stevezook7@yahoo.com. Send me your phone number. I'll call you. We'll talk about it. Scared money doesn't make money, by the way. And I want you to think about that. But again, I just want somebody to understand what I'm doing. If you want to invest, great. Prefer sophisticated investors with at least 50 to 100 grand. Total capitalization is $5 million. You get 49% of it for that. But I'm willing to entertain a couple smaller investors, smaller positions, 10,000, 20,000. I only want to do one or two of those because I want to keep the percentages open for a larger investor. But coffeechannel.com could really be cool because everybody loves coffee. My branding statement is linking the world one cup at a time. But like I said, it would feature talented acoustic musicians. It would give acoustic musicians a place to have a home and to promote themselves and build their careers. We could help build the careers. We retain something for doing that, like maybe endorsement rights. But if you have any interest, it really could make history. Coffeechannel.com could really be a viable thing, but it's not something simple, that I can just put together. I need to have a really highly skilled computer programmer, highly skilled computer designer to work on it. I'd like to have an office with a sound stage where we can produce concerts, create content which can then be licensed. That content can be licensed all over the place. Could even be licensed on Netflix. And I'm not making this up. The owner of Netflix called me years ago just to say he really, really liked Polkzoo Channel. He liked the kind of the non-formal component of it and liked all the guitars that were featured and stuff. And that's just not bullshit. But anyway, if you'd like to, and this is an investment where you have to have a little bit of brass balls, but I've been a marketing consultant for many years. I'm 70 years old. I've also trained sales staffs for corporations. Music is my true love in life. Music and guitar is what I really love. But the whole point behind coffeechannel.com, like I said, is kind of a hybrid, like a social network based on coffee and acoustic music. Create our own content, create our own concerts, and it could really be cool. We could make history. But I'm looking for investors that get it. Looking for investors that understand. I mean, if you look at all the crap on TV nowadays, like these new shows like The Cube or whatever, I mean, there's just a lot of bullshit because the people in positions of power aren't comfortable doing something real. They're not comfortable doing something really authentic. Coffeechannel.com could have real soul, could be authentic. And like I said, I've shared this idea with some brilliant people that are very successful. They all love it, In fact, Bill Hudson was going to get involved, and he's like, I make movies, that's what he does. But if you have any interest in being part of something that could make a hell of a lot of money, but also be really cool, send me an email. Send me an email to stevezook7@yahoo.com. That's STEVEZOOK, the number 7 @yahoo.com. Not a heavy thing on the phone. I just want people to understand it. If you understand it, then you decide if you want to invest or not. But there could be some huge returns here. I'm willing to hang on to the company for a short period of time and sell it. The example I gave of reverb.com is a great example. He didn't start reverb.com thinking, oh, I'm going to sell it and make a couple $100 million. He just wanted a better place to sell guitars. But like I said, I think it was Etsy. Large media companies will buy an internet site. They'll buy a business just for the position in traffic, even if it has not made a profit. So, coffeechannel.com could sell for a hell of a lot of money, make everybody a really nice return. Then whoever buys it can then turn it into a public company if they want to, or we can do that. But I just want you to understand the idea. Once you understand the idea behind coffeechannel.com, it's kind of hard to get it out of your head. I've turned down a lot of investors for it because I just felt they were kind of tweaky. They didn't seem centered to me. They didn't seem like they had a lot of integrity. I'm looking for people that understand the viability of this idea. Okay. But anyway, I want to share an idea. Here's another. See, here's it. So this is in the flamenco tuning where the low E becomes a D and the G becomes an F sharp. But anyway, I don't have to do coffeechannel.com, but it's just an idea that's been tossing around my head for a long time, to be honest about it. But it's just such a beautiful idea. I'd love to have a place for acoustic musicians to call home, because I know myself personally some extremely talented songwriters, extremely talented guitar players that need a home. And people would resonate with coffeechannel.com for the very simple reason that it would be real, it would be authentic, it would feature real talent. And most of the entertainment industry and music business is kind of focused around the opposite of that. So, it's an idea, it's not going to be an overnight thing. But once it reaches a certain level of traffic, I think a large media company would purchase it. But anyway, again, scared money don't make money. Some people are looking for something really, really safe. I think this is a safe investment. It's just not not going to be an overnight thing. But there's so much, how can I put this? Being an entrepreneur is not just about taking a risk, it's about managing a risk. But I believe there's a real lack of authenticity in business. There's just so much bullshit out there. So coffeechannel.com is going to have real soul. It's going to connect with people because it's going to have real talented musicians. And it's a killer idea. I'd love to. So again, total capitalization is $5 million. If you want to invest $5 million, you get 49%. But yeah, it's a real idea. It's got real soul, authenticity, and it will connect with people because it's real. So if you're interested in a great investment, email me, stevezook7@yahoo.com. Send me your phone number. I'll give you a call. That's STEVEZOOK. The number 7, not spelled out, at yahoo.com. But yeah, we create our own content. We create our own concerts that can be licensed and cross-licensed. We can sell guitars. We can sell advertising. We can sell loans to businesses. There could be a lot of money there too, by the way. But this is a big project, not something I can do myself. So it can't be done on a shoestring. So if you understand the viability of the idea, and you have some interest, call me. It's not going to be any hard sell. I just want to communicate. But like I said, I've shared this idea with some really brilliant people, including Bill Hudson. Like I said, Bill Hudson produced Father of the Bride with Steve Martin. He loved the idea. He goes, oh, you got a hit, Steve. It's just one of those ideas you can't start on a shoestring. You can't start it small because it needs a social network website. It needs a very sophisticated website made by a computer programmer, computer designer, strong servers. It needs a lot, but it's an idea that can connect with people. It could make a hell of a lot of money if you understand the viability of that idea. So if you have any interest, hit me up. And one more time, this little idea here is kind of in the altered tuning. Anyway, I think I'll just stop right there. Let's all keep the positive faith, and if you'd like to make history, if you'd like to be involved in something real, if you'd like to be involved in something that will honor real talented musicians and give them a voice, give talented musicians a platform to promote themselves and share with the world, because we really need that. There's a lot of bullshit out there, and this is something that could have, coffeechannel.com could have real soul and really be authentic. So it's a beautiful idea. So send me your phone number if you want to talk about it. Take care. Bye.